The first thing you did after rebirth was to dig open the grave of the school beauty, Liu Rushui, and lie in the coffin, embracing her corpse. Then you gave her cherry-red lips a good kiss, all because 2.5 days later, a strange power would descend. At that time, all the departed souls would revive, and Liu Rushui, buried in a red wedding dress, due to her lingering resentment, would transform into a zombie after the strangeness descended. The zombie ancestor Hummer Liu Rushui, after transforming into a Hanba, became the most terrifying entity in the entire dragon nation. Later, someone, through a certain deductive ability, figured out a way to deal with Liu Rushui. That was to kiss her when her mouth wasn't paying attention. As long as one could kiss Liu Rushui, who had zombie fangs, they could obtain the same power as her. However, this method seemed difficult, but in reality, it was not simple at all. Let alone kissing her, even getting a little closer, would be utterly ravaged by her. Therefore, for dozens of years during the apocalypse, no one had ever succeeded with this method. Now that you have been reborn and returned, you naturally want to try and obtain Liu Ruxu's power. If you can succeed, you will become the most terrifying existence in the entire apocalypse. Moreover, you are very confident. The current Liu Ruxui is merely a corpse and has not yet become a true Hummer. So, can't you just kiss her however you want? To be on the safe side, you decided to enter the coffin in advance, and first, you'd kiss her for 3 days and 3 nights. Filled with excitement, you directly pried open the coffin. Perhaps due to the influence of the strange power, there were no signs of decay on Liu Ruxu's body. Her eyes were closed, as if she were asleep. Her exquisitely beautiful face captivated you, making it impossible to pull yourself away. 2.5 minutes later, you finally came to your senses. You quickly threw away the shovel and lay down in the coffin. Liu Ruxu's body was remarkably fresh. The space inside the coffin was perfectly able to accommodate both of you lying down together. As the lid closed, your vision instantly turned to complete darkness, but you felt no fear whatsoever. Instead, his face was full of enjoyment. When Liu Ruxue was alive, she was a recognized joke. You have never been with such a beautiful woman, shared a room with, and even more, so close to her. However, it's more important to get down to business first. Thinking of this, Jenny pulled Liu Ruxue into his embrace, and then kissed her lips. The touch was cool and icy, but there was no feeling of stiffness. On the contrary, it was very soft. You were completely immersed in this rare tenderness. Time quietly flowed away at this moment. 2.5 minutes later, Liu Ruxu's body suddenly twitched. You frowned. Had Liu Ruxu revived prematurely? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Although Liu Ruxue was affected by a strange power, her physical body was not yet ready, and was still some distance from becoming a true Hanba. She still needed a bit more time. Perhaps it was an illusion caused by your own brain's oxygen deprivation. Thinking this, you lifted her small face and continued to passionately kiss her. But suddenly, a stinging pain came. Liu Ruxue actually bit your lips. This bite seemed to use all her might. Blood instantly gushed from the corner of your mouth. But you showed no panic. Instead, you bit Liu Ruxu's lips in return. Liu Ruxue, who had been brilliant her entire life, seemed to be scolding you for being shameless. Meanwhile, in the mass grave not far away, a man and a woman approached. The man was about 30 years old, wearing a loose, yellow robe. A girl, with a striking face, not yet 20 years old, wearing a white dress, looking pure and innocent. She said delicately to the monk beside her, "Master Kongshu, this Liu Ruxue actually committed suicide in a red wedding dress, saying that even as a ghost, she wouldn't let me off. Wooning, you must help me." Upon hearing this, Master Kongshu showed a very relaxed expression on his face. Amitabha, this humble monk has been professionally slaying demons and devils for 80 years. Whether it's a vengeful spirit or a zombie, I can handle them with ease. What's more, this poor monk specifically brought a peachwood sword this time. What if, unfortunately, I am unable to deal with him, he said, while smoothly placing his hand on the girl's waist. Feeling the silky, smooth, and soft touch, Master Kongsa's smile grew wider. Although the girl appeared coy, she did not refuse. This only made Master Kongshu even bolder. His lecherous hand directly moved to an indescribable place. The girl suppressed her disgust and said coquettishly, "Oh, Master, don't be so hasty. As long as we can get rid of this Liu Ruxue, it'll be yours." It turned out this girl was named Gu Ru. Like Liu Ruxue, she was a student at Zhanghai University of Science and Technology. Because she was extremely jealous of Liu Ruxue's beauty, Gu Ru teamed up with a group of female classmates and started campus bullying. They repeatedly troubled Liu Ruxue in private, but no one expected Liu Ruxue to commit suicide. Moreover, before her death, she made a will, asking her family to dress her in a red wedding gown and prepare a red coffin to be buried in the pauper's grave, all so that after death, she could transform into a vengeful ghost to seek revenge on Gu Ru and her accomplices. And because Gu Ru was too scared, she sought out Kongshu, hoping to have a ritual performed for Liu Ruxue so that she would quickly reincarnate. But when the two saw Liu Ruxue's unearthed grave, they were stunned. "What's going on? Liu Ruxue couldn't have risen from the dead, could she?" Gu Ru said, her face filled with terror. Hearing this, Kongshu also became flustered. Although he was a monk, he was a novice and knew no divine powers at all. He only came this time to take the opportunity to indulge himself. But the scene before him scared him so much he wet his pants. "Amitabha Buddha, the yin energy here is too strong. How about we come back tomorrow?" Master Kongshu said, feigning calmness. Gu Ru looked displeased after hearing this. "You've already touched me. And now, you want to run before the job is done. All right then. This poor monk will go forward and check on Master Kongshu." Helpless, he could only pick up the peach-wood sword and cautiously walk towards the coffin. Today was precisely the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. The moonlight cast upon the large red coffin appeared exceptionally eerie. Just as Master Kongshu approached the coffin, the world suddenly underwent a change. The originally bright moonlight, at this moment, turned a blood-red hue. The entire world seemed to be instantly drenched in blood, becoming a scene akin to hell. Master Kongshu noticed the abnormality and quickly took a step back. What's happening? How did the moon suddenly turn red? No sooner had he spoken, a startling bolt of lightning suddenly descended from the sky. At this moment, heaven and earth underwent a drastic change. Black rainwater instantly poured down upon the earth, but this rainwater could not wash away all filth. Instead, it would bring endless calamities. The power of the tailwind completely erupted. Countless souls that had once died now revived. They would transform into the most terrifying demons, to hunt down all humans they encountered. But humanity was not entirely without hope. After the eerie revival, everyone had a chance to awaken blood patterns. Each blood pattern represented a powerful force. Some could even awaken several blood patterns simultaneously. These individuals were undoubtedly among the most supreme beings. At this moment, Master Kongshu was utterly panicked by this sight. Disregarding Gu Ru's life or death, he threw away what was in his hand and ran for his life. Gu Ru also let out a scream and quickly followed him. Just then, something also happened inside the coffin. Liu Ruxue was seen emitting an eerie power from her entire body. Her whole body also grew increasingly hot, as if she were burning. You didn't have time to think much. Just kiss her first. Immediately, you pulled her head towards you. It's just trash, a single bite. But the moment you made contact, you realized something was wrong. Sharp teeth had actually grown in Liu Ruxu's mouth. They were indeed zombie teeth. At this moment, her body was continuously undergoing a change, and this same mutation also appeared on you. Waves of terrifying power washed over you. In just an instant, you felt a bone-deep pain. It was as if every single one of your body's cells were tearing apart. Your soul felt like it was being pricked by needles, and under this raging power, your body gradually stiffened. An immortal and indestructible body was the first step to becoming a zombie. But then, you discovered something was amiss, because you realized your consciousness was starting to gradually blur. It was as if you had stayed awake for 3 days and 3 nights, and your entire being was about to fall into an eternal slumber. You instantly understood. This was an eerie power invading your mind. If you couldn't resist it, you would completely transform into a true zombie. This was not the outcome you desired. Although zombies are powerful, they have one flaw. Their minds are very dull, and it's difficult for them to possess wisdom. You strenuously resisted this eerie power, preventing your consciousness from fading away. 2.5 minutes later, your body became completely devoid of color. It was as pale as a blank sheet of paper. Your pupils also turned blood red. Your originally black hair also turned silver white. An intense, malevolent aura mingled with the eeriness. Even a pair of pitch-black wings grew on your back. You successfully survived, and even acquired the power of Xianxia. At this moment, you finally understood your current situation. Liu Rushui transformed into Hanba, and you, surprisingly, became Xianxia. Xianxia is one of the 4 Lion Kings, and the strongest among them. Moreover, in some legends, Xianxia was formed from the vital blood of the legendary Panggu. Even if this isn't true, it undoubtedly demonstrates Xianxia's might, feeling the power within your body. You were thrilled to death. With immense power coupled with the wisdom of a living being, who in this world could possibly stand in your way? Thereupon, you kicked open the coffin lid and burst out. Liu Rushui also flew out closely behind you. Those eyes, filled with a malevolent aura, were staring fixedly. Seeing this, you couldn't help but frown. If I remember correctly, in his previous life, after Liu Rushui became a Hanba, he had no human consciousness. All that remained was hatred. The first thing he did after awakening was to go to Jianghai University of Science and Technology and kill everyone who had bullied him. But in this life, you, in order to steal Liu Rushu's power, forcibly kissed him for several hours. He wouldn't want revenge now, would he? Thinking of this, you quickly mobilized all your power. If Liu Rushui dared to make a move, you would retaliate without mercy. After all, the pattern of this world has completely changed. Only the strong are qualified to live. At this moment, Liu Ruxu's beautiful eyes turned blood red. His entire body radiated endless killing intent. The surrounding temperature was also continuously rising with his aura. The ground beneath his feet gradually turned into magma. Is this the power of Hanba? You roared and directly left the ground. Although it was by relying on you that I gained such power, but since you want to kill me, then don't blame me for being impolite. Immediately, you teleported, appearing in front of Liu Rushui, and grabbed him by the neck. At this moment, the aura of might from your body completely enveloped Liu Rushui. Unlike the dustfall you transformed into, Liu Rushui, in his Hanba form, is the god of drought, possessing the power to control the weather. And although you don't have such heaven-defying methods, you possess the unique coercive aura of a zombie king, just like a human emperor. At this moment, no matter how strong Hanba was, he had to submit. Simply put, Liu Rushui excels at long-range combat, while you are invincible in close combat. Feeling your powerful King Ba aura, Liu Ruxue instantly lost the ability to resist. His previous arrogance was completely gone. At this moment, he was like a docile lamb. However, his beautiful eyes still held a hint of superiority. You leaned close to his ear and whispered, "Can you understand what I'm saying?" Liu Ruxue did not answer, a trace of confusion showing in his eyes. Seeing this, you couldn't help but shake your head. It seems Liu Ruxue does not possess self-awareness. Perhaps this is the most fundamental difference between the two of you. He himself had already died once. After that, he was resurrected by a mysterious power. Although he gained immense power, in reality, he was not much different from other evil spirits. As for you, not only did you become the Lion King Xianxia by relying on Liu Ruxue, but even your consciousness remained uncorrupted. Since that's the case, just try out my new ability. With that, you bit towards Liu Ruxue's neck. His neck, like that of a white swan, was exceptionally long and slender. Even after death, becoming a Jiangxi, he was still so beautiful and captivating. You showed no mercy. Your sharp fangs directly pierced his neck. Liu Ruxu's body instinctively trembled, but facing your oppressive aura, he had no ability to resist whatsoever. 2.5 minutes later, you slowly released Liu Ruxue. After transforming into Xianxia, you possessed a total of 3 abilities. Ability 1. King's Aura. It has a suppressive effect on all things. And furthermore, it can infect living people, turning them into Xianxia, and leave behind a master-servant mark. Ability 2. Undying. Your physical body is incredibly formidable, and you can restore your vitality by consuming blood. Ability 3. Slaughter Path Purification. You can increase your strength by slaughtering living beings, and it has no side effects. What you just used on Liu Ruxue was the first ability, King's Aura. Liu Ruxue himself was already a Xianxia, and his strength was comparable to your own. Whether you could leave a master-servant mark on him, you weren't sure. Immediately, you stared at Liu Ruxue, scrutinizing him from head to toe. You hadn't observed him closely before, but looking closely this time, you couldn't help but secretly praise him. Liu Ruxue, whether in terms of figure or appearance, was a top-tier existence. His pale cheeks, devoid of even a trace of blood, exuded a strange and eerie beauty. At the same time, Liu Ruxue also looked up at you. Your eyes met. Between Liu Ruxue and you. Suddenly, a connection formed. You were overjoyed in your heart to have this connection. You could command Liu Ruxue to do anything, the kind where the other party wouldn't resist at all. At this moment, you two were alone, a man and a woman. If it were someone whose heart wasn't firm, they would probably do something. But you didn't have such thoughts. Even if you were to do something, it wouldn't be now. Because just now, when you were in the coffin, you heard someone approaching outside, and you heard their conversation clearly. Your gaze suddenly turned cold. Since that's the case, I'll help you get revenge first. Having said that, you looked into the distance. After obtaining the power of Xianxia, your various abilities far surpassed ordinary people by dozens of times. Instantly, you locked onto the fleeing Master Kongshu and the hireling. Immediately, you flapped your wings and flew towards the two of them. And Liu Ruxue, who had already become your subordinate, also trotted along after you. Master Kongshu, 1 billion kilometers away, after running continuously for 2.5 minutes, was almost exhausted to the point of shitting himself. He panted heavily, constantly looking behind him. You unreliable stinking monk, how could you abandon a weak woman like me there? Guru also rushed over at this moment. Her beautiful eyes glared fiercely at Master Kongshu. Wasn't I scared? Who wouldn't be scared when encountering a reanimated corpse? Master Kongshu said with some justification. Suddenly, he grinned lecherously again. It turned out that Guru's clothes were already soaked by the rain. Her already thin dress now appeared even more translucent. Amitabha, benefactress. Even if Liu Ruxue reanimated, she won't be able to catch up in a short while. Why don't we discuss life together? Hearing this, Guru became even more furious. If Master Kongshu had truly dealt with Liu Ruxue, then she wouldn't mind letting this guy have his way with her once. After all, being taken by anyone was still being taken, and it wouldn't count as a loss. But now, Master Kongshu's behavior made her utterly disgusted, just as Guru was about to erupt in anger. But suddenly, behind Master Kongshu, a corpse slowly crawled out from the ground. Guru let out a scream. An unknown liquid flowed from within her long skirt. Her legs went weak, and she collapsed directly to the ground. What's wrong? Master Kongshu looked behind him with a puzzled expression. That look nearly scared him half to death, because before him was a hideous demon. Holy crap! There's a monster! Master Kongshu shouted, pulled Guru, and ran. But after running for just 2.5 seconds, he stopped, because at this moment, they were already surrounded by demons. Countless demons could be seen crawling out from the ground, their numbers easily reaching dozens. These demons were merely low-level demonic creatures. They possessed no intelligence. They only knew endless slaughter. Seeing more and more demons around them, Guru completely panicked. Master, can you handle this? Quickly kill these monsters. Master Kongshu stammered after hearing this, unable to utter a word for a long time. He was usually good at swindling and deceiving, but when truly encountering demons, he didn't know how to deal with them. Moreover, the demons before them were endless, their numbers growing. Damn it! Master Kongshu steeled his heart. He tightly gripped his peachwood sword and let out a cry, plunging it directly into one of the demons. But the peachwood sword did not cause any damage to the demon. Damn it. I knew I shouldn't have bought this peachwood sword from the street performers, Master Kongshu said with some regret. But now, it was all too late. These demons showed no hesitation, engulfing Master Kongshu like a tide. He didn't even have time to make a sound before completely disappearing from this world. Guru watched this scene, her emotions completely collapsing. Mommy, I want to go home. Boo-hoo. Who can save me? I don't want to die. Yet. Tears streamed freely from the corners of her eyes. The surrounding demons, after killing Master Kongshu, immediately converged on Guru. She closed her eyes in terror, waiting for death. After 2.5 minutes, he was still perfectly fine. Guru opened her eyes, somewhat puzzled. How am I not dead yet? Suddenly, a tall, handsome, magnificent figure, like the author himself, appeared before her eyes. This person exuded an exceptionally powerful, subtle pressure, as if they were a born superior. The next moment, the figure moved. A crimson light erupted from his palm. All the demons before him were like paper cutouts. With just a slight effort, he could completely tear them to shreds. Guru secretly rejoiced in her heart. Someone really came to save me. And the one who came was naturally you, this handsome guy. In just 2.5 seconds, you eliminated all the demons. Demons also have a hierarchy, from highest to lowest. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Although the demons before them were numerous, they were all just the weakest F-grade demons. Handsome, thank you for saving me. My name is Guru. What's your name? Guru looked at you with a lovesick expression. She couldn't help but ask. You turned your head and looked at Guru. Her appearance wasn't bad. She could even be considered a rare beauty. It was just that due to the intense fright, she looked extremely haggard. The delicate makeup on her face had also smudged. You don't need to thank me. I just didn't want you to die so early. That's all. Guru was somewhat puzzled. She always felt there was something strange about your words, but couldn't quite pinpoint what was wrong. It seems, the words of the strong are always so profound. Then, she looked at you with a shy expression. Can you protect me from now on? I'm willing to be your ox and horse, she said, rubbing against your arm. Because she exercised regularly, Guru maintained a very good figure. Any normal man would not be able to resist Guru's allure. But you, of all people, are not normal. A pair of jade arms, a pillow for 1,000 men, a hint of crimson lips, desired by 10,000. It's nothing but 2 ounces of rotten flesh. Having said that, you directly grabbed Guru's prominent chest. Without any mercy, you flung her 2.5 meters away. Guru cried out in pain, looking at the handsome man with a face full of resentment. What do you mean by this? You've hurt me. You coldly glanced at her and said nothing. It's just that my strength isn't enough. I can't protect you. But I have a friend, and you two should know each other. He can definitely protect you. Hearing these words, Guru's eyes were filled with excitement. Who? You pointed behind Guru. Has right behind you, Guru said. Then directly turned her head to look, but with just that one glance, Guru's freshly changed diaper was wet again, because standing in front of her was none other than Lu Rushue, dressed in a red wedding gown. Seeing this situation, Guru screamed and wanted to run away immediately, but her strength was too weak. Lu Ruxu's figure flickered and stood in front of Guru, then fiercely choked her neck. Guru tried to struggle, but Lu Ruxu's slender arms unleashed a disproportionate amount of strength, making Guru completely unable to resist. Sorry. Guru still wanted to apologize, but it was all too late. At this moment, she finally realized why you had saved her just now. Because you wanted Liu Rujue to take revenge, personally. Soon, Guru was completely gone. Liu Rujue, like throwing a dead dog, threw her to the side. Afterward, her eyes, originally filled with killing intent, returned to calm. As if nothing had happened just now. Just at this moment, all the demons killed around them. Surprisingly, all began to emit an eerie red light. What is going on? You had never encountered such a situation before. But the next second, an even stranger scene appeared. All the corpses of the demonic entities, surprisingly transformed into streaks of red light, surging into your body. You had originally intended to resist, but you found no danger within them. As the light clusters continuously poured in, your strength was also constantly increasing. Soon, you understood. One of your abilities was precisely slaughter purification, able to purify yourself by slaying everything, and with no side effects. It's just that these demonic entities seemed very special. After death, they would directly merge into your body to enhance your strength. Since that's the case, what am I waiting for? Your gaze swept across the entire burial mound port, a smile appearing on your face. To others, this burial mound port was definitely a terrifying and ominous place, but for you, this was the best monster grinding spot. The entire burial mound port, by initial estimates, harbored at least tens of thousands of demonic entities. Looking at such a destructive scene, the smile on your face gradually grew more intense. Immediately, you let out a loud shout, and a burst of red light erupted from your body. F-grade demonic entities before you were utterly vulnerable. Only a small number of first-level demonic entities could offer some resistance, but ultimately, they could not escape death. Seeing you take action, Liu Rushui also joined the battle. Han Ba possessed the power to control the weather. Numerous countenances instantly appeared from around Liu Rushu, and could easily wipe out a large group of demonic entities. This scene couldn't help but make you a little envious. In terms of one-on-one combat, you were definitely stronger. After all, as the subtle pressure of a king, few could resist it. But when it came to clearing monsters, Liu Rushui still took the cake. The battle raged on. Each demonic being transformed into the purest energy, rushed into your body. Suddenly, you felt your lower abdomen growing hot. Subsequently, all the pores on your body seemed to open up. A strong sense of stimulation instantly appeared in your brain. I broke through. I actually broke through. According to the ranking system for human blood-marked ones, you should now be a Tier 2. But your true combat power far exceeded Tier 2. You clearly understood now that you were an anomaly, belonging neither to the demonic forces nor to the blood-marked ones. For a blood-marked one to break through to Tier 1, they needed to constantly comprehend themselves. But you had no such need at all. You only needed to kill to increase your own strength. In your previous life, the strongest blood-marked one was a Tier 9 existence. You wondered how powerful you would be after breaking through to Tier 9. You couldn't help but think of a person in your mind who appeared in your previous life, an existence named Empress. She emerged out of nowhere and simultaneously awakened 18 acupoints. In just 3 short years, she reached Tier 9. A single person could contend with countless demonic forces. Her appearance was undoubtedly humanity's last hope. Compared to her in your previous life, you were like a firefly next to a bright moon. But now, you have transformed into Xianxia. You are absolutely confident you can surpass her in a short time, or even completely crush her. Just then, another large batch of demonic forces crawled out from underground. Seeing this, you couldn't help but laugh out loud. These are all full of experience points. You then flashed and rushed into the horde of demonic forces, and excitedly began to slaughter them. In just 2.5 hours, you had dealt with tens of thousands of demonic forces. Liu Ruxu's efficiency was even faster. The demonic forces she killed already exceeded hundreds of thousands. The speed at which the demonic forces appeared couldn't even keep up with Liu Rushui's killing speed. Moreover, you also discovered that Liu Rushui seemed to have gained some of your abilities. The demonic forces, killed by her, could actually also be converted into your experience points. Therefore, you only used 2.5 hours. Your strength had reached Tier 3. You glanced at the few remaining fiends. You planned to find another place to grind experience. What this world least lacked right now were fiends. There was no need for you to stubbornly stay here, waiting for the fiends to awaken one by one. In your previous life, the University of Science and Technology you attended was built upon a mass grave, and its scale was immense, burying an unknown number of people. If nothing unexpected happened, that place should be where the most fiends were. Thinking of this, you no longer hesitated. You walked directly towards the school. But after walking just 2.5 meters, you sensed an exceptionally powerful aura rapidly approaching from this direction. A preliminary estimate suggested it was an A-rank fiend. The next second, two figures appeared before your eyes. At the very front was a woman in a white dress. She looked extremely wretched. Her skirt hem was soaked with a large amount of viscous blood. Seeing this, a hint of a smile appeared at the corner of your mouth. It turned out to be a blood-marked one. With just one glance, you confirmed the woman's identity. On her chest was a blood-red nine-tailed fox pattern. This was precisely the mark of a blood-marked one. At this moment, the woman was desperately running forward. Behind her was a terrifying fiend. The fiend was clad in a black dragon robe. His entire body exuded a dense black aura. And in his hand, he held a black longsword. It was none other than the Warring States Fiend King, Lion King. In your previous life, you had witnessed the terror of this fiend. He was an emperor from the Warring States period, now revived due to a mysterious power. Not only was his strength immense, but he had also gained a certain ability unique to emperors. In this regard, he was somewhat similar to you. In your previous life, the Warring States Lion King's strength was terrifying. People were utterly unable to cope with him. Yet the current you felt not the slightest apprehension, because in your previous life, Liu Rushui had merely waved her hand and annihilated the Warring States Lion King. In the last life, Liu Rushui could easily kill the Warring States Lion King. You believe she could do the same in this life. At this moment, the white-clothed woman was getting closer and closer to you. Perhaps, because she was too nervous, the woman did not notice your presence. She crashed straight into you. Your physical body was powerful, ignoring pain, but the woman in white was in a bad way. When she crashed into you, it was like hitting a steel plate. She was instantly flung outwards. The woman let out a shriek. Panting heavily, she looked at you and urged, "Run. Quickly, there's a monster behind me." Hearing this, you couldn't help but tease. Then, do you think, "I'm a monster"? Only then did the woman in white realize something was wrong. This place was a desolate graveyard. There were graves everywhere around them. And though you looked like a living person, your skin was pale, without a trace of blood. You had long silver hair. And even your eyes were blood red. After realizing this, the woman completely broke down. She didn't understand why she was so unlucky. A Lion King was chasing her from behind, and now a demon had appeared, blocking her path. Heaven truly wishes for my, Liu Yi's, demise. I clearly awakened the protagonist template. Yet I'm going to die tragically in this desolate graveyard. I'm truly so unwilling. Hearing this, you were somewhat speechless. This girl looked quiet and gentle. But why was she so Chunibu? However, those who could awaken blood patterns were 1 in 10,000. Calling her a protagonist wouldn't be an exaggeration. Soon, the Warring States Lion King arrived before you. Its entire body was decayed, emitting a chilling aura. After seeing you, it did not act rashly, but instead kept scrutinizing you. A Tier 1 demon already possessed a certain level of intelligence, and the longer it lived, the higher its intelligence would be. In the later stages, powerful demons were no different from humans. At the same time, you were also scrutinizing the Warring States Lion King. Perhaps because it had just revived, the Warring States Lion King's strength was still very weak. You then waved your hand, telling Liu Rushui to deal with it. Such a caliber of opponent didn't even require your personal intervention. Liu Rushui alone could easily resolve it. But just then, the Warring States Lion King suddenly spoke. "That stinky girl stole my things. You snatch them back, and well be allies." A cold, hoarse voice came from the Warring States Lion King's mouth. One could call it language, but it was more like a demon's whisper. Hearing this, you sneered. "Have you already gained rudimentary intelligence? It seems I really can't let you continue to grow. Otherwise, you will definitely be a threat in the future." No sooner had the words fallen, Liu Rushui had already made her move. From her entire body, a scorching aura instantly erupted. Heaven and earth seemed to change their appearance at this moment. Streams of scorching flames instantly surged towards the Warring States Lion King. The Warring States Lion King's expression stiffened. He quickly brandished the longsword in his hand. A phantom image of a purple giant dragon appeared, directly blocking Liu Ruxu's attack. Immediately after, several purple giant dragons appeared. All at once, they attacked Liu Rushui. as if to devour her whole. However, you weren't flustered in the slightest. Although the Warring States Lion King's strength was formidable, it was still a bit lacking to deal with Liu Ruxue. Just at this moment, on Liu Ruxue's body, numerous fire snakes suddenly appeared. These fire snakes flicked their tongues. Even when facing the purple giant dragons, which were countless times larger than them, they showed no fear whatsoever. The next second, countless fire snakes surged towards the purple giant dragons. These fire snakes seemed to possess incredibly terrifying corrosive properties, directly incinerating the purple giant dragons. The fire snakes used the purple giant dragons as nourishment, becoming even more terrifying than before. Go to hell. A word escaped Liu Ruxu's lips. Immediately, the fire snakes completely engulfed the Warring States Lion King. He let out a scream, and then lost all ability to resist. Just as the Warring States Lion King was about to be annihilated, you quickly had Liu Ruxue retract her flames. Then he grabbed the Warring States Lion King's neck with one hand. His sharp claws directly tore through its skin and flesh. The next second, a drop of Xianxia's essence blood flowed into the Warring States Lion King's body. The most basic ability of a zombie is infection. It can convert all life into its own. And you, as the Zombie King, also possess the ability to command all zombies. This Warring States Lion King is not weak. Rather than letting it die, it's better for it to become your chief subordinate. After receiving your essence blood, the Warring States Lion King's entire body was being constantly transformed. Its original injuries rapidly healed. In its consciousness, an additional connection with you also formed. From this moment on, the Warring States Lion King's life was completely in your hands. As long as you wish, a single thought can obliterate the Warring States Lion King. Master. The Warring States Lion King looked at you with vacant eyes. Seeing this, you nodded in satisfaction. The Warring States Lion King was originally just an E-class demon, but after being transformed, it directly reached S-class. You should know that even Liu Ruxue, in her previous life, was only SS class. Now, the Warring States Lion King's strength is already enough to destroy all of humanity. Then you looked at Liu Yiyi, who was beside you. Now it's your turn, big brother. Don't kill me. I'm very valuable. Keep me. I can warm your bed. Liu Yiyi, who witnessed the entire process, was so scared her whole body trembled. This man in front of her was too intimidating. The terrifying Lion King unexpectedly couldn't even contend against the woman beside him. Such a powerful woman is even willing to follow this man. How strong must this man be? I heard you stole something from this Lion King. What was it? Show me, you said with great interest. After hearing this, Liu Yiyi said with a wronged expression, It's a misunderstanding, big brother. I just saw a fruit tree, and a red fruit grew on it. Because I was thirsty, I just picked it and ate it. But not long after I finished eating it, this damned thing crawled out of the ground and chased after me, hitting me. You immediately asked what kind of fruit it was. Did you feel your whole body burning after eating it? Yes, big brother. Have you eaten it too? You didn't speak. Instead, you stared at Liu Yiyi, at the strange blood pattern on her chest. This blood pattern was the image of a 9-tailed fox. At this moment, it was emitting a faint, eerie glow. Liu Yiyi felt your gaze. She fearfully took 2 steps back, but she directly bumped into Liu Ruxu. Their eyes met. Liu Ruxu's gaze, full of killing intent, almost made Liu Yiyi wet her pants. Her body trembled, feeling safer by your side. As expected, she consumed a divine miracle fruit. You said helplessly, The divine miracle fruit is a very special item. Ordinary people who eat it can become blood pattern holders. Blood pattern holders who eat it have a chance to enhance the strength of their blood patterns. And, if evil beings can obtain a divine miracle fruit, they can significantly increase their terrifying power. You didn't expect this Chunabu girl to be so lucky to eat a divine miracle fruit on the first day of the apocalypse. You said with a hint of envy, Truly, fools have their own fortune. Big brother, you said fool. Liu Yiyi looked at you, a little bewildered. It's nothing. Just stay by my side from now on. Extend your finger. Although Liu Yiyi was scared, she didn't resist. Trembling, she extended her slender finger. The moment your sharp nail cut Liu Yiyi's skin, A connection was also formed between you and her, but you didn't cultivate her into a zombie, because you had too many zombies around you. Having a living person to balance things out wasn't bad either. Liu Yiyi didn't feel anything unusual. She just felt that you looked much more pleasing to the eye now than before. Big brother. From now on, I'm your #1 little brother. What's your name? Is this big sister-in-law? Is big sister-in-law a zombie too? Her skin is so pale. The current Liu Yiyi was so envious, completely devoid of her previous nervousness, chattering away like a chatterbox. Just as you were about to say something, suddenly, you heard a series of footsteps all around. The next second, hundreds of blood-marked individuals surrounded you. You frowned. Having been reborn and returned, you had finally obtained the power of the fallen, and subdued 2 beauties and a top-tier individual. Could it be that this good life had just begun, and you were already targeted by the authorities, sending out 100 blood-marked individuals all at once, just to eliminate you in advance? Although you felt surprised, you didn't feel any tension whatsoever. With your current strength, even if thousands of blood-marked individuals appeared at the same time, you could exterminate them with a flick of your finger. But before you could make a move, Liu Yiyi rolled up his sleeves and stood in front of you. Big brother, don't be afraid. Your little brother will stick up for you. As he spoke, he was about to activate his blood-marked true form and fight these people to the death. Seeing this, you were completely speechless. You directly grabbed Liu Yiyi's high ponytail from behind. Even if you want to die, you don't need to be in such a hurry. Get back there and stay put. Hearing these words, Liu Yiyi immediately broke into a smile. Then, scurrying happily, he hid behind you. Just as you were about to make a move, a young man in a combat uniform walked over. After saluting you, he said, "You must be Zhou Haotian." "Right. I am Zhao Shan, captain of the Zhenghai City blood-marked squad. According to our detection, a terrifying demon seems to have appeared nearby. Our Captain Li specifically sent us to assist you." It turned out that just 2.5 hours ago, Captain Li of the Zhenghai City military region, through satellite monitoring, after witnessing your terrifying strength and that of Liu Ruxue, had developed the idea of recruiting you. After all, with the arrival of anomalies, what humanity lacked most were blood-marked individuals. If a powerhouse like you could join the military, the disaster could definitely be quelled in the shortest amount of time. Coincidentally, at this time, the warring state's Lion King emerged, posing a threat. Captain Li knew his chance to prove himself had come, because he felt that no matter how strong you were, you might not necessarily be able to deal with the demon, so he dispatched the blood-marked squad to provide support. After learning the truth of the matter, you smiled and nodded. So, you had misunderstood. But you also realized one more thing. That is, you had already been targeted by the military. There was nothing that could be done about it. In the early days of the apocalypse, the military was the most powerful. Later, they even continuously resisted the evil creatures and established many shelters, big and small. In your previous life, without the military's protection, you probably would have, on the very first day of the anomaly's arrival. Immediately, you pointed at the warring state's Lion King not far away. "Captain Zhao, is that the terrifying evil creature you mentioned?" Zhao Shan was slightly taken aback. He looked in the direction you pointed. Just now, the sky was dim. He hadn't clearly seen the exact appearance of the warring state's Lion King. Now, taking a closer look, Zhao Shan's eyes instantly widened. He saw not far away, standing upright, was a corpse wearing tattered dragon robes, a tall and burly corpse. The surface of the corpse was festering and pale. Its eyes were hollow and numb, but its body exuded an extremely terrifying aura. Holy crap, this is a formidable fiend. No, it seems even more powerful than that urgent fiend. Zhao Shan gasped. He quickly retreated 2.5 meters, but then he noticed something was off. Why is this evil creature so well behaved? It actually didn't attack. You saw the doubt in Zhao Shan's heart. So you smiled and began to explain. This evil creature has already been subdued by me, but I still have to thank you all. Upon hearing this, Zhao Shan's face was full of disbelief. Big brother, you're truly amazing. You can even subdue evil creatures of this level. After speaking, he then sized up Liu Ruxue next to him. This woman's face was deathly pale. Her beautiful eyes revealed an eerie, blood-red color. Just one glance, and Zhao Shan couldn't help but get goosebumps all over, because the feeling this woman gave, Zhao Shan, was completely unlike a living person. Zhao Shan, and dollars, ground. Zhao Shan. Instead, she was more like a zombie. Just then, Liu Ruxue suddenly turned her head and looked at Zhao Shan. Their eyes met. Instantly, a strong killing intent spread out. Zhao Shan was so scared he almost cried out. What in the world are these things? How do they look even more terrifying than those demons? He quickly averted his gaze. He turned his head and looked at Liu Yiyi again. At this moment, Liu Yiyi was hiding behind you, looking completely harmless. Except for some residual bloodstains on her body. Everywhere else, she looked just like the girl next door. But Zhao Shan would not be fooled by her appearance at all. Can there be good people around a demon? Perhaps among these people, this Liu Yiyi is the most terrifying. She's the type of wolf in sheep's clothing. Thinking this, Zhao Shan subconsciously moved away from Liu Yiyi, afraid of being targeted himself. Is there anything else? Just then, you suddenly asked. Nothing, really. It's just that, with the disaster breaking out now. Brother, are you interested in joining the military and contributing to humanity? I'm sorry. I don't have that intention. You rejected him directly and decisively. With your current strength, you could completely create an even larger force. Joining the military would only make you hesitant and constrained. You wouldn't be able to act freely in anything. Brother, won't you reconsider? Zhao Shan asked persistently. You didn't speak. You waved your hand, telling him to get lost. Seeing this, Zhao Shan didn't dare to say anything more. After all, the difference in strength between the two of you was too great. A big shot, who could subdue the Warring States Lion King, could deal with him with ease. Just then, Zhao Shan's walkie-talkie suddenly rang. Report. A demon frenzy has erupted at the location of the University of Science and Technology. Preliminary estimates suggest over 10,000 demons have appeared. The strongest among them are B-class. An urgent voice came from the walkie-talkie. Zhao Shan frowned after hearing this. Tens of thousands of demons? This was an astronomical number. If they were all just F-class, it would be fine. Then these blood-wielders could still cope. But for demons above B-class, only blood-wielders of Tier 2 and above could deal with them. Shan looked towards you with a hint of embarrassment. Clearly, he wanted to seek help. You naturally understood his thoughts. You had originally planned to go to Xianxia University of Science and Technology anyway. Now, you could conveniently help the military with a person. Well, I was just going to the University of Science and Technology anyway, so I'll just conveniently help you solve this matter. Upon hearing this, Zhao Shan immediately showed a grateful expression. Thank you, big brother. You truly are a great person who saves all living beings. Your mouth twitched. You no longer paid attention to that fervor. With a light leap, you flew towards Xianxia University of Science and Technology. As you possessed a pair of wings on your back, your flying speed was very fast. You could even surpass some high-performance supercars, carrying Liu Yiyi with one hand. It only took 2.5 minutes to arrive above the University of Science and Technology. Now, the entire school was completely invaded by demons. You were not in a hurry to act. Instead, you were observing the situation of the entire university. There were a full 38,142 demons here, but among the students in the entire university who had awakened as blood-marked ones, there were only 18.5 people. You were not prepared to wait any longer. You raised your hand, ready to deal with these demons. But, just then, you suddenly noticed Liu Ruxue's abnormality. As soon as she arrived at Xianxia University of Science and Technology, her entire body emitted a strong killing intent. Then he playfully headed towards a corner. It turned out to be the location of the girls' dormitory. Liu Ruxu seemed to be going to seek revenge. She had been bullied before her death. She would rather commit suicide and transform into a vengeful ghost to get revenge on them. The one killed before was not as important as that chief culprit. But besides him, there must have been more people involved. You naturally wouldn't stop Liu Ruxue's revenge. In the apocalypse, human lives are cheaper than grass. Even if they wouldn't be killed by Liu Rujue, they would die elsewhere. At this moment, Liu Yiyi's tearful voice rang out. Big brother, can you let go of me? My hair hurts so much. She was full of grievances. Her pair of large eyes were pitifully captivating. As if about to cry. I almost forgot about you. You revealed a meaningful smile. Then, looking at the endless demons beneath your feet, you found the densest spot, and directly threw Liu Yiyi down. Holy crap! Big brother, are you trying to murder seventh sister? Liu Yiyi let out a miserable shriek. With a splat, she directly fell to the ground. This maiden is considered a beauty no matter what. Are you really so unchivalrous? What if I really fell to my death? Liu Yiyi complained while rubbing her backside. But the next second, she was dumbfounded, because she had already been locked onto by countless demons. So many demons. What should I do? Oh right, this young lady can still transform. As Liu Yiyi spoke, she immediately activated the power of her blood markings, only to see the blood markings on her chest emit a red light. Immediately after, her entire being completely changed. A white light enveloped her, forming a type of existence resembling armor, and from behind her backside, 9 white tails actually grew out. These tails were very alluring. Even the surrounding demons, upon seeing them, couldn't help but stare blankly. Azure Hill Bright Flame. Liu Yiyi immediately activated her divine ability. A pale azure flame emerged from around her, then swept towards the surrounding demons. The effect of the flame was very obvious, able to easily kill any demon. Holy crap! My power is so strong. Why didn't I notice this before? Since that's the case, what demons do I have to fear? If heaven didn't give birth to me, Liu Yimei, the chaotic valley would be like an endless night. All of you, die, in the wilderness. At this moment, Liu Yiyi was incredibly arrogant. A Chunibu aura once again erupted from her. Meanwhile, in the girls' dormitory, all the surviving students were hiding on the rooftop. A dozen or so girls were all huddled on the ground, with expressions of tension and fear. Besides that, in the corner, there was also a boy with dyed yellow hair lying there. This person was named Wang Ergu. He was a sophomore at this school. Before the disaster broke out, he secretly snuck into the girls' dormitory. That's why he was here. At this moment, he was holding a curvaceous woman in his arms. The woman twisted her waist like a venomous snake, constantly rubbing against Wang Ergu. 2.5 seconds later, Wang Ergu shivered slightly, showing a satisfied expression. Brother Gu, I love you so much. You must take me with you to survive. The woman licked her tempting red lips and said, Don't worry, baby. I'd die before I let you die. Oh, right. Come with me to see how many demons have gathered below, Wang Ergu said meaningfully. Ah, Brother Gu, do we have to? Those demons are too terrifying. I'm scared, the woman said somewhat coyly. But Wang Ergu completely disregarded the woman's feelings, directly pulling her towards the rooftop entrance. Between the 6th floor and the rooftop, there was only a very small entrance. Normally, one could only go up via a ladder. Although the demons couldn't climb ladders, more and more demons were gathering here. So there was still a possibility of them coming up. Damn it. These demons are getting more and more numerous. Sooner or later, they'll come up to the rooftop. Wang Ergu cursed unhappily. What should we do then, Brother Gu? Let's think of a way to leave here. Hearing this, Wang Ergu suddenly showed a mischievous smile on his face. Isn't this where I rely on you? With that, he actually pushed the woman down directly. Wang Ergu, you bastard. The woman screamed and cursed loudly. Wang Ergu's face was full of mockery. So cowardly down there. Did you really think I liked you? After saying that, he leisurely left the place, heading towards the other girls nearby. At this moment, Wang Ergu was extremely arrogant. Just like a customer picking out goods, selecting these girls. Suddenly, a girl with shoulder-length hair caught his attention. This girl's appearance wasn't particularly stunning, but her formidable chest was unmatched, possessing a presence that seemed to sweep all before it. Wang Ergu, with a lewd expression, beckoned with his finger. Hey you, get over here. After hearing this, the girl showed a terrified expression. You can't do this. Doing this is against the law. Aren't you afraid of going to jail? Hearing this, Wang Ergu simply laughed. It's the apocalypse now. Do you still expect us to survive? Hurry up and get over here. Otherwise, I'll throw you down to the monsters. As he spoke, Wang Ergu's arm emitted a strange light. The next second, a layer of stone armor grew on his entire body. It turned out that Wang Ergu was also a blood-marked one. However, his blood mark level was only F class. The effect was also very simple. It allowed the body to temporarily harden. Truthfully, although it was ineffective against demons, it was completely sufficient against ordinary people. Seeing this situation, the long-haired girl could only give up resisting. She bowed her head and sobbed continuously. Be a good girl, and let Big Bro show you his might. Saying this, Wang Ergu walked directly towards the long-haired girl. You'll definitely go to hell, the long-haired girl said frantically. Go to hell? Ha 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 ha. You see, isn't this world of ours already like hell? Wang Ergu didn't care at all about what the girl said. With practiced ease, he placed his hand on the girl's waist. He was about to undress her. Just then, an explosion suddenly rang out from behind him. Wang Ergu stopped his actions and looked behind him. He cursed angrily. Who the hell is ruining my fun? However, the moment he finished speaking, he immediately revealed a terrified expression, because standing in front of him was none other than the already deceased Liu Ruxue.